Hey everybody, you know what time it is. I know what time it is. Everybody knows what time it is. It is time for Syntex Live. How is everybody doing tonight? I hope you're doing well. I'm doing okay. Just okay at this point. Reason being is, well, the same reason you guys had to deal with the reruns over the past few days is the fact that I had to take my nephew down several states away and I was going to be gone for a few days. So I had to have something. So I figured, you know what? Everybody keeps saying that the videos are getting all screwed up because YouTube decides to go in and shuffle everything. Yeah, I'm going to fix that. So whenever I can't do something for a couple days, that's going to be there. Not to mention, I got to play nice with the algorithm, folks. We all know that one. All content creators got to do that. I've seen a few people just totally get shoved down to the bottom of search history because they were out for 3 days. It's absolutely crazy. So before I go any further, let's pop a top. If I can get that open, I'll fix that later. And let's get to it. Okay. So yes, there is, if you've noticed, there was another video that dropped a half an hour ago. And there's one dropping tonight at midnight. Folks, I'm trying to get back on the schedule. I've been gone. So let's get this going. I'm actually back from hell. Anybody here in the U.S., do yourself a favor. Stay away from I-95 for the next probably, year. It is just 4-lane highways down to 1 lane every about 10 miles from the center of Connecticut to about the southern end of Jersey. Just avoid it, folks. Please stay away from it. I went through there at midnight. It's still tacked on an extra 3.5 hours. All right. Going through the comments section, there wasn't much, really, not a lot, folks, at all that was in there. So this isn't going to take long. Before I go a little further, though, we're expecting thunderstorms to roll through. If the stream cuts, I'm not playing with it. Those of you who were with me last time we had a stream drop because of thunderstorms, you know how bad that crap can be. And I'm not doing that to you guys, having you wait for like 30 minutes till I can finally get this on. Then I got to restart a whole new stream. It ain't worth it. So again, if stream cuts, we're just done for the night. Let's see. Some people talking about the story wrap-ups, and that I answer questions, folks. That's what the wrap-up is. I get a lot of questions of what's happening next. You didn't explain that. You didn't explain this. Well, if it's a series and it's going, feel free to go in the comment section and go, it's not over yet, dumbass. I don't care if you curse at anybody. So don't worry, it'll all be answered. If it's not answered, if there's a question, that's what the live streams are for, people. I want to make you the best content possible. Now, during the whole, is this real life or fantasy, somebody brought up parallel worlds. And all I could say is, you ever heard of reverse isekai? Kind of working on there. With string theory and multiple worlds, it is hard science fiction. So possibilities are pretty much endless, folks. You can do a lot with that. Like seriously, so much. This is why there's so many isekais out there, is there's so much you can do. Unfortunately, after a while, they sort of keep repeating. And sometimes people are just ripping off everybody else's stuff. I mean, seriously, how many farmers do you have? How many cooks do you have? I mean, I get tired of looking at them. I don't even click on them anymore. So there's that. Okay. Somebody brought up the fact I could have done SCP in real life or fantasy. Yeah, I could have. I would have also ripped the planet apart. If those of you who are not familiar with SCP, that is a online science fiction group that you can, as long as it's done in a certain structure, you can put in your own monster with its own backstory, whatever. And people have come up with some really, really funny ones. And other folks have come up with some just really good ones. Unfortunately, some people's like, well, my monster has a bigger dick than your monster, so my monster is better than yours. And they just make it bigger and bigger and bigger. I'm like, guys, something that large cannot exist on a planet this big. It just doesn't work. The size of the serpent that's supposedly down near India, if it was half as big as they're saying, it would literally, if it stretched out end to end, would wrap around the planet plus. Just No, on so many levels. It doesn't work. Don't get me wrong. When they hit the mark, they hit the mark great. I do have to apologize for one of the videos that came out. I downloaded the wrong video. The class on human constants, that was actually a combined video. I accidentally clicked on the original video when I uploaded it. And I'm sorry, I didn't even notice. I'm sorry, guys. I'm sorry on that. I fucked up. Okay. So I think it's a decent series. And if you guys thought the first one was good, there's another, I believe, 3 more chapters to that. It's one of my earlier works, so the sound quality is not exactly there, but I didn't think it came out too bad. However, I'm not the audience. You guys are. Let's see. Somebody got a kick out of the clothing optional Xenos. That's honestly, I keep using that because it's going to happen regardless. Even in people talk about the Greys. The Greys don't wear clothes. The lizard, or as they say on the Wi-Fi, lizard people. Yes, I do watch that show. They don't wear nothing. I think the tall whites are one of the few others that actually wear clothing, and it is what it is. So, that's why it's a running gag in there, because in all hard science fiction, you always have one species, at least one, that is told they have to put on clothing because it makes everybody, well, they can't focus on what they're going because they're just like, just like a bunch of guys that've been in the field for 2 weeks and then they see a girl with her wampons hanging out. I was like, they're bouncing. Oh, I'm so focused. We're weird that way. All right. What the hell? Here, my chicken scratch is so bad I didn't even see it. Okay, on the stasis sucks. Apparently, you guys like that one. I didn't get a lot of traction on that before. I do plan on extending that one, but that one's after. I still got to do our Human Enough has got to continue. Ambush Predators has got to continue. Yes, it's going to keep going. Also, several others got to keep going. That's going to be one of them. I do have to wrap up certain ones. I got pretty close to the end, but I wasn't getting a lot of traction. I didn't realize I got to actually finish the fucking story. So I do apologize for that. But yeah, some of these ones that are set up as a saga instead of a series. If you see saga at the end, that's only one part. It can continue. If it says series, it's not meant to. Can it? Maybe. Certain ones, I cannot push it any farther without it going into ridiculous territory. And the last thing I need is something I made turning out like the Acolyte, which thank God that series is over. Okay, I just saw a review from the Critical Drinker, and I'm glad I didn't watch that piece of shit. Wow. Speaking of things people never heard, human battleships, one of my biggest ones I've ever had, and that was early on when I started. Some folks hadn't even seen that yet. I was amazed. You guys, if that's the case, comment section, by all means, folks. I can't get any better unless people put the comments in. So thank you for somebody who brought that up. I will have to see if that's been released as an entire series. If it hasn't, I'll put that on for next time I have to leave. Now, believe it or not, that's the end of my notes, folks. And we've been going for all of 9 minutes. That's not a long time. So I'm going to jump into the comment section. Oh, by the way, anybody who sent in their email or sent me the email with your address and wanted a t-shirt and you did not get it, you have to let me know. This, like I said last week, this is the week. You got to let me know if you didn't get it so I can resend it. All right. Very important. Okay. Not a lot here in the chat box either. Might be a quick night tonight. We got Ernest, Erica. We got a whole bunch of folks there. Sorry, folks, not fuck. No, you guys are not fucks. You guys are good folks. Demon. Let's see. It's Demon saying, I'm still ready for bed, but I'm here. Cool. Before I forget, the shout outs from last week, I didn't forget them, folks. Somebody got a shout out here about maybe 40 minutes ago, and there's another one that comes out at midnight. So if you sent in stuff last week, it just took me a while to get to it. It's there, folks. It is there. War Sniper. Oh, War Sniper's here. Look out. We got some rage in the chat, too. That's kind of cool. Yeah, can't sleep. Oh, man, I'm not going to be able to. It's starting to pour outside, so I know you guys can't really see it because of the way the video is, but it's coming down. I can hear it. Yeah, we know the drill. Okay, it's no worries. Let's see. Demon says, we had a tornado run through last night, killed power to my job, so the canceled work yesterday and sent us all home. Hold on. I will finish this in a second because we got a $20 super sticker from the sir. And sir, yes, you are going to get your shout out from last week. I haven't forgotten about you. I swear I haven't forgotten about you. I'm going to put this in here. It's 20 with big letters right there, sir. Okay. And don't forget, we got two sirs. So if the other one comes in, he drops something, just remember, one of you has a whole bunch at the end of your name. So that'll be yours. But definitely thank you, sir. Thank you so much for supporting. I do very, very much appreciate it. I appreciate all you guys, even just being here. I appreciate y'all. And again, thank you again, sir, for helping out the channel. It does definitely keep me motivated to keep making this stuff because right now my view count's kind of not that high, but that's kind of my own fault. Like I said, kind of rehashing doesn't fly. I am going to focus on shorts, by the way, for the next about week, and then back to series. I am going to do what you guys recommended and start trying to mix them together. But if that's the case, one series will come out once a week on a particular day, just like The Files comes out Sunday. So I got to have that all set up. And so once again, thank you, sir. Let me just scroll back up here. And with the demon saying how a tornado came through, but now he's got to work an extra day thanks to the tornado. Okay, one thing for anybody who has not got anything about tornadoes, if they end up in your area and you find out there's a tornado, first things first, get the fuck out of your house. Okay, if you know it's close, if you have a basement, you want to be right wherever there's a door, you want to be right next to the door, right up against the basement wall, because when things fall over, well, let me put it this way. Say here's the wall and it comes down. The triangle of safety is what they call it. Okay. I want you guys here. And whoa, hold on. I'm doing that. And I see a $5 super chat from SS Demon. Before I get into that, let me write that down. Here we go. SS Demon. He says, I don't do it for the shout outs. I do it because I like what you do. I want to support you the best I can. We all appreciate you and what you do. I very much thank you for your kind words, Demon. However, you're still getting your shout out. I'm still going to send it to you. Reason being, it's not a big channel. And let's face it, you guys are supporting me. I want to give you at least something back. I mean, yeah, you got the shirts, but it's my way of throwing stuff back, you know. And so, again, like me, I'm not here for the accolades so much as just kind of here to do my thing. And my thing, thankfully, is helping you guys out, especially when I hear folks say, hey, it got me through a really bad day at work, or I was having a crappy day and I listened to you on the ride back and, you know, help me out. That stuff, it boom, hits me. Ow. I just hit a little too hard. Hold on. That whole thing's got to come back from the 80s old. Double pump on the heart. Unfortunately, somebody thought it meant something different and got all pissy. So, yep, thank you again, Demon and Sir. And let me just, again, get back. Again, with the tornadoes, I just got to say one more thing. If you know what a freight train coming down the track sounds like, keep that in mind before as I drop down to another $5 super chat from Erica. The unbelievably outrageous Erica is back. She is so outrageous. And let me get this down again. I gotta get a new picture for you to do something, because you got yours, by the way. Your shout out from last week came out 45 minutes ago. Yeah, somebody just read the shirt. Okay. Again, thank you very much. And I got the 3 super chats in front of me. So let me just finish my thought, and we'll get to the rest of the chats here. Again, thank you very much, everybody. But the thing is, tornadoes sound like a big old diesel freight train coming through, and everybody says it's the same thing minus the whistle. So if you hear that, duck and cover actually works, folks, but you want to get as far away from the center of the house unless you have a very solid tub. Tubs are usually strong enough they can handle the debris coming down. So whichever area if you're in, hopefully you never have to deal with one. Cross your fingers, folks, because those things fucking suck. Okay, War Sniper says, lovely, you had my favorite nightmare in real life theme. Okay. Oh, so let's see. Lee is here. Hey, Lee. I see it as no comments just means you're doing good jobs. Well, yes and no's. I mean, thumbs up are always great. But the things with the comment section is it helps the algorithm. It kind of pushes me towards the top. So that was my, nice way of saying even something helps. But hey, even just a thumbs up is awesome, guys. I'm not going to complain. Every little bit helps. I'm not bitching at all. Whatever happens, happens. So, yeah. Let's see. Demon says, I never saw it. Just took out the power. Oh, you're lucky you didn't see it. Those things can be nasty. When they said the finger of God in the movie Twister, they weren't kidding. Let's see. War Sniper again. I had the weird noise, the video. Oh, I heard the weird noise in the video, one of your early videos. Yeah, I can't get that out. I have redone those videos like 4 times, and I can't get that out. I don't know what the fuck. The one time it kind of worked. That count like, and it sounded like somebody was doing a bad read over for a Japanese movie or something. It's just like, what the? Because you hear me talking something like, and it's like I was drunk or something. I was like, what the fuck? So. All right. Good morning. Good evening. Everybody's saying, hey, Ava. Oh, Ava's here. Duck. Well, actually, forget duck. Just dive out of the way at that point. Here she comes. Sir's here again. Yep. Erica says, how was the road trip aside from interstate stuff? It was fucking hell. You want the God's honest truth. Here's how it worked. I started off now I'm in the Northeast in actually New England. So I tried to time it. So I was going through New York City around 11 o'clock midnight. So I got all that traffic to deal with. Even at that time of day, it again, like 3.5 hours just sitting there. It's a good thing I have a freaking diesel car, because I would have ran out of gas at least 3 times on the way down. Then when we finally get out there, or even before we get out of all the traffic and everything, that hurricane that came through on Texas, the remnants of it slammed into the side. I had maybe, I don't know, 12 feet, 3 meters of visual between the bumper and the road. I mean, that's how bad it was coming down. Everybody was driving at like 15 miles an hour at best at some points. And then it would suddenly clear up, and then it would hit you so hard. Everybody's slamming on their brakes, throwing their 4-ways on. It was absolutely nuts. Then I get there. I get to the hotel. They tell me I can't check in. I'm like, oh, wonderful, great. Finally get my nephew dropped off after about 2 more hours. I go back. They finally let me check in after I go to get what I thought was a good meal, but unfortunately twisted my stomach, gave me a headache so bad I wanted to die. I get in the room. Not only are there cockroaches on the ground, the room is exceptionally small. Then they had a motorcycle rally there. A whole bunch of people that as they're just loud all the time. And I'm on the ground floor. Thank you for that one, you freaking douchebags. So people are walking past the window, carrying on, people blasting music all the time, running their engines, just revving them up for no fucking reason except to feel the vibration in their crotch. It's just like, what in the ever loving shit? I actually pulled out my notebook and I'm sitting there. I'm like, okay, let's get that. That wasn't fun, dude. Then all of a sudden, something reggae rap. I don't know. It's not rock. Whatever the fuck it was horrible. Just like at like 150 decibels into my ear. It was just bad. It was just bad all the way over. It was hot as balls and it was humid all the time. It was just terrible. Absolutely terrible. The food was bad. I had one good thing, and that's the anybody who's actually traveled a lot, you know that you can make your own waffles. I don't get waffles that often. So for me, that's a fucking treat. That was one good thing. Their coffee was watered down. It's all shit too. Anyways, it was just bad. It was just bad. And then I got to take the long way back. And my wonderful nephew, I get to the point where my eyes are starting to do that slow close thing. I'm just like, that's it. Got to pull over. Got to catch some C's. So finally pull over. I'm in the middle of, I think, Pennsylvania. Set the clock. Okay. I'll start at the top of the hour. That gives me about 50 minutes. It takes me about 2 minutes for my head to drape over. I start sleeping. He jumps up from the back seat. What, are you asleep? I'm like, what the fuck are you doing? I'm like, I'm trying to sleep here. Shut up. He keeps moving around. Every time he moves, the car shakes, and that wakes me up. I'm just like, fuck it. I threw the freaking phone. I got back on the highway. Said, what's wrong? Shut up. And just kept driving. Ugh. And all the fast food and everything will twist your stomach so bad. Ugh. So yeah, it wasn't a fun trip. Okay. See, War Sniper says, I like to listen to the story back from the drone carrier and the Consuna AI. Yeah. I threw that one in. The Sinful Pirates are here. Somebody listen to the last one. Oh, shit, that's funny. War Sniper again. No, your little community will keep watching your videos. I sure hope so. And then War Sniper reading the shirt. This is going to be my normal, unless I get a strike or something, this is going to be my shirt for the live streams for the foreseeable future. Demon also saying someone is truly outrageous. Oddly enough, something that most of you might be too young to realize, that the beginning of that, if you watch the intro, there's more truth in that than people understand, because that showed exactly the difference between pop and punk culture. At the time, there was a fight between the two, a big fight between the two, because punk culture said, be yourself as long as you don't step on anybody's nutsack. Nobody gives a shit. In other words, don't be a problem to someone else, and you can do whatever the hell you want. Don't hurt anybody else, and you can go off and do whatever the fuck you want. No one gives a shit. Be yourself. Find out who the fuck you are. Now, this is why most people that are punks, like the Rageaholic, are extremely smart people. Usually, not always. The pop culture says, you want to be an individual as long as you're exactly like everyone else. And here's the kicker. If you actually watch the initial episode, I still remember from when I was a kid. No, I did not watch it on YouTube. I would rather slit my wrists with a dull knife. Okay. They actually mentioned the fact that this young girl has amazing singing talent. She just does not have the look. And this is like the whole TV killed the radio star bit. So what they do, they put a hologram to make her this freaking hottie with big hair. I don't know what the hell was up with it. Even back in the 80s, I didn't understand the big hair. I mean, seriously, if you want that much hair, I hate to see you without clothes on, because yikes. Regardless, that's the only way she was able to get a contract, is because she had the look, not because of her singing talent, because of her look. Who does this remind you of? Well, hold on. Let's not get the current year yet. But there's your truth right there between the way punk culture operates and the way pop culture operates. And the thing is, what'd she do in punk culture? She basically sold her soul for a contract, and the supposed villains, the punk ones, never changed the way they were. They were themselves the entire time. See, I was too young to understand this as a kid, and most of us were either not around or weren't watching, but that's the way it was. Now, fast forward to the modern day. If you look at a certain performer, when she takes off all the makeup, these shitty clothes, the terrible wigs, the things that make her look like a motherfucking clown, and she even has a stage name that makes this lady want to gag me. When she takes all that stuff off and she's just herself singing, she has exceptional talent. I've listened to her. I'm like, damn, this girl's got she's got a natural talent. This is cool. Yet, she has to have that look. She's never allowed to be herself. She has to have her contract for her to perform. She has to have that look. And guess what? They did the same stupid makeup job with that fucking star on the eye. I was like, oh my freaking God, what the fuck? I know sometimes reality imitates art and art imitates reality, but this is too on the fucking head, people. Way too much on the head. It's like they were trying to do this to pull people in my generation. No, when she's the gag me lady, she sucks. Everything she does is horrible. Go back to being yourself. I'd listen to it, even though I'm not into that type of music, because she's got great talent. I mean, it's just like that Elsa song. She doesn't even sing that. The girl who actually sings it has amazing talent. She can never get a contract because she doesn't have the look. Fuck you. Anyway, that's my rant on that cartoon from back in the day. Even though I'm still going to say how a certain one here, a certain Erica, is truly outrageous. Anyways, let's see. Ava says, hey, Sin, I'll be sending you an email with the full details of my ship later. Okay, cool. Ava says, time to scare the Sin. Okay. Try me. Come on, I've been launched at by an RPG and walked through a mortar attack. I don't think you can really scare me. Although when I think about it, I start getting a little bit of the shakes, but so it's supposed to be. Eric is saying, yeah, so outrageous that I'm the jackalope from America's Funniest Home. Oh my God. Oh shit, that's funny. Wow. Oh man. Hey, that was good. Erica, that was fucking great. I had totally forgot about the jackalope. I mean, they could have done basically a whole series on that, and it would have been the new Pink Panther. That was just good. That is just funny. Oh man, I'm glad you brought that up. You probably made my night on that one. Thank you. Worst never said it's very ultra rare to have tornadoes in the Netherlands. Well, it's rare to have them up here, but they've been happening. You wouldn't think in New England to have tornadoes, but they've been getting a little more frequent lately, and things are getting a little. What's the word? The thing is, you might not get the actual tornadoes, but they do have what the hell they call those water spouts, I believe, over by the shore. It's basically a tornado out in the middle of the ocean. Every time I've ever seen a video of that, it's always boats doing the best they can to get the fuck away from those things. They are dangerous. They'll snap a super tanker. I mean, those things are not something to be fucked with. Oh, what the fuck? Oh, I don't know if you guys noticed in the background, turkeys just went by. Oh, the little ones are getting a little bigger. Good. Grow big so I can blow your head off later. I'm getting hungry now for a little turkey sandwich. Okay. Ava talking to Bite Me says, artificial intelligent virtual assistant. Okay, why not? I like, you know what? Fuck it. I'm going to write that down. That's actually artificial. Wow, a lot of T's and I's in that. Intelligent virtual assistant. Okay. Don't be surprised, Ava, if I use that. Because that's actually pretty good. Did you come up with that, or did somebody else come up with it? Because I don't want to copy someone else's work. I know I've gotten pretty close, but I don't want to actually copy. And by the way, if I'm using something like a song or something as a base or a movie or something, that's more of a tribute, folks. I'm not trying to actually rip it off. Just like when I said Wildy is coming, and Wildy's friends are here. Let's see. Rage says tornadoes suck. One completely bisected my house. Ow, shit. I hope nobody was home. Bisected the house. Damn. That's horrifying. It's honestly scary as fuck. War Sniper said the only tornado I don't want to encounter is a night tornado. As in tornado at night? Yeah, that'd be horrible. That's why if you just know there's no tracks and it sounds like a freight train, you know what's coming. Best thing, make sure you're as low to the ground as possible. If air can't get under you, you're not going for a freaking trip through the air. It's just that simple. Bite me hitting on Ava here. Ava, I hope you have a sexy voice, not like Siri. I can't imitate the Siri voice, folks. I can't do it. Yeah. Ava saying, Harley, you mean the prostate tickle? Oh, gaha. Okay. No. Okay. I'm going to leave that one as far alone as I can. Let's see up here. Ernest again. I've been through 4 tornadoes. That's way too many. That is way too many, man. I personally think if you're in Tornado Alley, it should be a requirement for you to have an underground bunker, preferably one attached to your basement so you can just go downstairs and run straight into it. Demon says, ouch, that sucks. Never dealt with them. I'm sure it sucked. Yeah, of course tornadoes suck. They have a suck zone. Let's see. Guardians here. Hello all. Sorry for being late. Hey, no problem there, Sage. No problem at all. It says the shirts of the live stream. Yeah, well, I try to get the funny ones. Warsnub says you don't want the wolf to jump scare you again. Yeah, well, actually, it kind of did, but not really jumping through the window. Actually, on the way down, I was trying to fight it. I tried to fight it the whole way, and I saw the taillights, and they started getting smaller and smaller, and then they merged and went across. It kind of was like a bright red dumbbell. But that was just because my eyes had squinted so much. That was the only thing coming through was the light. And I just, oh, hell no. I didn't care if it was raining or not. Down went the freaking window. My arm went out there. My head's right next to it. And I'm just letting the rain splash me in the face. I didn't care. I had to stay awake until I hit the next exit. It was terrible. Ernest says, house fires stuck to my niece accidentally set my house on fire cooking when she had low. Oh shit, son, that's not good. That's bad. That's both of those are bad. Low blood sugar reaction. Yeah, we all know what that means. And both of those are bad. Yeah, I'm hoping it's not a total loss either. Though, yeah, that's yeah. Okay. Fire tornadoes here in California. Usually that's spelled with a C. And yes, I'll still call it that too. Dealt with fires and earthquakes though. Yep. Yeah, well, the thing is it really depends on the topography. It needs to be semi-flat. And I know Northern California is kind of mountainous. The bottom can't stick actually there. The wind will actually shove it back up its hole, Let's see. Demon says, that reminds me, I forgot to send update fleet to Discord. I'll do it once the stream ends. Thanks for my, okay, yep. Oh, more damage caused by a bad contractor. Don't I know that one? When we were building this place, I wasn't around, so I couldn't check them. And Somebody went with a more cheaper option, and what we got was somebody who didn't know what they were doing. We're still refilling holes. It's just, I'm like, if you don't know how to work with concrete, don't say you know how to work with concrete. It's the little things when that. If you're ever working on building some sort of hobby or doing any type of maintenance, it's always the little things that are going to bite you right in the nuts, and not in a fun way. I'll tell you that. Ava says, it's my own joke about my own name. Feel free to use it. Just don't change assistant to art. Why would I change assistant to artist? Or that will get you copyright. Okay. I wouldn't even think about changing it, because honestly, that's like a perfect name for an AI, just like Aya from Green Lantern. It worked. Even though Aya is supposed to be AIA instead of just AI. But yeah, it works. It might not be soon, but I'll see what I can do about using it. Let's see. Lena says, alien artificial intelligence should try to build orbital rings or something. Yeah, something I'm working on has something similar to that. Sir says, Ava, that would be cool AI. Yeah, I fully agree with you, sir. That would be really cool. Ava also saying, I've been really basically I've been in a whirly, basically a baby tornado. I was in a car and it nearly lifted the whole car. Yeah. The closest I dealt with personally was a desert devil when I was deployed. And honestly, everybody said the same thing. They said, here it comes, get down and hold on. We're like, what? Just get down and hold on. Hold on to what? Grab your nuts, because you're about to be taken off. And one idiot got taken right off his feet and slammed really hard into the ground. He was okay, and he was laughing. But we're like, dude, if you landed another 4 or 5 degrees, a certain way, you wouldn't be laughing. We'd be calling for a medevac, because your friggin' shoulder would have been shoved down into your heart. The way he landed is like in Joe Dirt. Thankfully, my neck broke my fall. Yeah, it's one of those things you don't. It might seem cool to kind of mess with, but there's too many variables. Demon says, just don't let her AI be in control of the drop pods and make her mad. You might be a pancake. Yeah, that's true. Oh, shit. Now, the thing is, the Helldivers, apparently that's going the way of MechWarrior Online. And main reason is there's not enough being put into it. They had that huge explosion. Everybody loved it. I enjoyed the shit out of MechWarrior Online. I want to play it, but I just don't have the hours to spend, plussing everything up. Not to mention, I'm not spending real money to plus up something I should be plussing it up in the game. But it was only I think 2 cents when you actually did the numbers to call an artillery strike. I didn't mind that too much, but still, it was just crazy. But they're not expanding on it. And because they're not expanding on it, people are getting bored. And you don't want your players to be bored or pissed off at certain things like they did with Halo. Halo, they just overdid it. Once you could see through the walls, nobody could actually get close, and you're just ricocheting grenades over there. And if you got it just right, it would go into down one hallway, hit again, and then down another T intersection and blow 2 guys up before they even knew what the hell was going on. And it was just it's ridiculous. But as far as Helldivers, they need to just add more maps, if nothing else. Add another faction or something, just so long as it's not human versus human. Because if you do that, you've just stepped into Warhammer territory, folks. And no, because once you do that, you have opened up all sorts of ridicule, and people are going to be pissed off. It's got to be one group of humans. That's it. So they've already got an insectoid. They already got the robotics. Maybe a reptilian, maybe something that's actually physically hunting the insectoids. Maybe insectoids are actually running from these things, because to them, the insectoids are just food. and these reptiles are more advanced or something. Throw something like that in, really shake things up. Where these reptilians have weapons that are like one shot, one kill, no matter how much armor you got. And that way you really have to play smart. But the thing is, when a society gets up that high tech level, what happens is their population drops like a rock. Because, well, I've touched on it before. If humans were to become completely immortal, the chances of them actually wanting to have children at any point in the first century of life is pretty much non-existent. Let's see. Rage is saying fire tornadoes. I wasn't aiming for Hellmeyer. I'm not sure where Hellmeyer is from. It sounds familiar. I can't remember where that's from. Guardian says, one of these days I need to upload my Starship designs and their history. And I have a feeling it's going to come in the same time, or maybe we can merge it with somebody else's drone fleet. Hint, hint, wink, wink. That would be kind of interesting. I'm actually hoping one of these days, guys, I swear, if I end up getting called over to California and they want me to write something for them to bring up a story idea, what I'm going to end up doing is I'm going to get a hold of you guys and I'm going to say, hey, Sage, send me your Starship designs, and guess who else is going to be? I'm going to be taking your drone fleets, but I'm going to make sure that you're contacted and get your royalties from it, because that's going to be your stuff. And that I think that would be a really interesting series. I really do. I think that would be a very good series. I'd like to make it into an anime, honestly. I think they do a better job than anything Hollywood has to do. I mean, Hollywood's just fucked in the head right now. Seriously, if you haven't seen The Acolyte, you're lucky. I saw how dumb that was, even in the review, and I'm just like, oh, I'm glad I didn't watch that piece of shit. Because somebody has to be the bestest Sith ever. If you haven't heard Overlord DVD, then he does really good reviews. He's kind of funny. Okay. Well, hold on. Wait a minute. We got another. Let me put ×2 here. Another $20 super sticker from the sir. Thank you again so much, sir. You are definitely filling out this night. And I hope you are doing great tonight, sir. I haven't seen you put too much in the chats, but I do very much appreciate you putting in your, well, if you pardon the pun, 2 cents. And don't worry, again, you are going to get your shout out. You are on the docket for the last week's stuff, but I haven't gotten to it. And you've got another one coming up. So I'm not combining those two. 1 week gets one week gets another. Okay. It's just that simple. And unfortunately, I can't do it double time here. I might have to say a double thanks on the shout outs for you. Yep. All I can say is thanks. Means a lot. Appreciate it. Very, very much appreciated. Whoa, hold on. Where was I? Let's see. I wait to come out for the food till it ran on pods. Okay. Lena says here, I know the secret behind the anti-gravity technology in fantasy. We need to connect some moon rocks to an electromagnet. Actually, yes and no. There's about, as I understand, there's 2 or 3 different ways to actually have repulsor technology. Believe it or not, one of the simplest ways is certain strains of chitin. And they figured this out back in the 1950s when they were researching insects, because they found out certain insects honestly shouldn't be able to move. They're so heavy that the amount of muscle that they have inside their legs is definitely not enough. And then they just started looking at it, and they found out that when you put the 2 chitin pieces close to each other in a certain direction, they actually repulse each other, hence repulsor technology. That's where that actually comes from. It's not actually anti-gravitic or anti-gravity. There are other ones that actually use a gravimetric system to actually reverse the polarity of the actual gravity field that you're working with. You got to be careful with that, though, because if that thing reverses at any time, it's not just going to pull you down, it's going to crush you. It's going to crush itself. Not to mention, if you're using that and you don't have solid connection to whatever in the hell you're lifting, believe it or not, a series I used to like, I don't like it anymore, Macross, when they first lifted off, they used it, their anti-gravity motors looked like these giant turbines, and they actually ripped out of the ship they were lifting up because what it was fastened to wasn't the actual bulkhead. They were just bolted on, and they just ripped clean off, and then down went the ship. I'm like, yeah, that was real smart. If you got them attached to the bulkhead, as long as the bulkhead system can hold, you should be fine. But the thing is, they want to say anti-gravity is fantasy. The problem is, if I went to the patent office and said, I have something here for anti-gravity, it is immediately, boom, stamped, classified, restricted. Nobody can do anything. Nobody can hear anything about it. Nobody can look at it. Nothing. And all I can say is, I need to jump down here to a $10 super chat from the Guardian Sage. He says, thank you for the offer. My ship designs are a series of ship designs that are generational. Oh, the initial inspiration was the ISD. Huh. Cool. Well, that's... I don't know what else to say to that, but I mean, if the ships are generational, that's actually an interesting one to say or to work with. And I will say this, when it comes to generational technology, it's a lot easier to write than generational persons. However, you come across a lot of the same issues. Whenever you're writing your generationals, you have to go back and constantly reference, hey, this evolved from this, that evolved from this, that evolved from this. So if you're able to make that right, my hat's off to you, because it's not easy to do. I know, I've done it, and I'm going to be doing more when I go back to ambush predators here. And before I go any further, I almost forgot to put you down here. Guardian Sage. Oh, by the way, for those who are getting your shout outs, if you actually want a particular type of photo, when I mention you at the end of the videos, let me know and I'll do what I can. You know, demon, you always get a demon, and you know, we know a certain hell jumper that when she sends something in, I try to use hell jumpers, but there's not many female pictures that aren't, let's just say they're not YouTube friendly. I like to use it. Actually, I tried to find something for Halo, and all I found was female elite butts in my face. I'm like, what the hell is this? This is what I searched for. It's here. Find something else. It's like, yeah, you just punch in like Halo female covenant, and that's all that comes up is like suggestive crap that should be Rule 34. I'm like, come on, guys. All right. Again, thank you again, Guardian. I very much appreciate it. Let me just get here where I was. Lena's saying it's okay. The assholite is over, thank God. And you're right, Ava. Hollywood is a absolute dumpster fire. They're bleeding money like crazy. The weird thing is they're not actually losing money, which people don't understand. They're getting a whole bunch of money from things like BlackRock and things like that, and it's flooding in. All that didn't earn it money is just flooding in. So they lose, X amount of millions making this woke piece of shit. Then it doesn't matter because they're still getting $30 million from, all these other folks who are just flooding money in. Why? Because they got so much of it, it doesn't matter to them anymore. It's like the song says, if you don't think money means anything, I dare you to live without it. Ava's out. Need to get some jobs done. Good luck. See ya, Ava. Oh, kind of was doing this. Let's see. Bite Me says, not burning the acolyte into my retinas. Yeah, just don't. Not enough eye bleach in the world to unsee that level 5 dumpster fire. Oh no, that thing jumped up well beyond level 5. Whew, that's ugh. And the thing is, the little bit I saw in the review made even less sense, and the reviewers were sitting there like, just I forget who it was. He literally is like, here's what it was like watching this show for review, and it's just him beating his head against the wall slowly. The sir says t-shirt size extra large. I don't have any double X large, unfortunately. I'll make sure I get some the next time I get t-shirts. I will do that. That being said, sir, if you go in, down into the box there, the Meat Gazer box, you Meat Gazer, you'll see the email. Go ahead and send to that email your name and full address. You don't, please do not put it in the comment section or this box here. Don't do that, please. For the love of all that is holy, don't do that. Do that in the emails only, and I will send you the largest t-shirt I've got. Let's see. Bell saying, no, they're not Hive Mind. I don't know who Hive Mind is. Sir has broad shoulders. You're probably working out. I need to get my ass to the gym myself, but here is what is slowing me down. The fact that I said, okay, I would do some work 2 or 3 times a week at the camping ground down the street, which I can't go and exhaust myself in the gym and then do like 5 to 8 hours worth of physical labor. I forget making any content, folks. I barely make it in the door before I crashed out on the floor. And this is a hardwood floor. I don't want to do that. Been there, done that, got the t-shirt. No pun intended. Whoa, okay. Sorry, this thing jumped for a second. Warsniper says you can also hover with magnets by being the polar opposite of each other. Yes and no. They tried to do that with the so-called hoverboard. The problem is what it does is it causes such friction to go away. It doesn't cause enough to go in the direction you need it. You would need another basically smaller electromagnet to make the force go down. But again, you're only fighting magnetism at that point. You're not actually fighting gravity. You're trying to create a source of thrust. Will it work on a very, very small scale? Yes. Will it work in a large enough scale? Not really. And magnets are very, very heavy. And the square cubed law comes into effect on that. Now, could you possibly do it with electromagnets? I guess I haven't heard anybody try. I have seen people make things elevate, again, something small like the head of this pen. But once they got bigger, the thing just got so heavy, it just sunk. And just you could feel, if you put something underneath and pushed on it, you could feel the pressure, but it just wasn't enough. If they figured it out, I'm all ears. Let's see. Erica saying the asshole light fire started by the force burns hot enough to burn rock. Science. Do that, you a force ghost. Okay. Do that, you first force ghost. Yeah. The thing is, it also burns in a vacuum. Yeah, explain that one. But then again, we're talking about a series that actually breaks the laws of physics so much that even in the Clone Wars show, which is the only good portion, I will admit that, that was actually good. They're using their laser swords underwater. How do you use a thermal energy weapon underwater? They're using energy bolts, which are condensed forces of electric, usually plasma. How in the flying fuckle knuckles is that supposed to work underwater? My brain hurts. My brain hurts. This is why it's science fantasy. It just hurts me. Okay. Lena says, can AI use drones with the electromagnetic needle guns? I don't see why not. Yeah. as long as you have enough force. It's going to be a one-time use because it's probably as soon as it fires, you're not going to have any energy left for the drone to stay up. It's just going to drop. The thing is, you need a decent amount of juice to get a decent amount of force out of those. They haven't released the technology needed to get that type of juice out of a just straight battery or power cell. You're using all your energy for one shot. And if that person turns to look at their notes, you might just catch them in the ear or something. It is what it is. So, anyways. But yeah, since drones are electric, you can make it. It will work on anything bigger than a mouse or a rat? Probably not. Demon says, I need to win the lottery that I don't play. Yeah, I only play it when it breaches 500, because by then you're only going to be playing for a couple of weeks. I know people say, well, you can't win if you don't play. Well, what's the chances of me winning anyway? You're not as one guy said, he nailed it perfectly on the head. You are not actually buying a ticket. You are renting the dream for a couple of days, unless you actually win and then you have the dream. But for the vast majority of people, you are renting the dream for a couple of days. Guardian Sage says, if you want to use something as a background image when you reference me, use an hooded. Okay. Hooded wizard with staff. Okay. All right. That's easy, Gandalf. No, I'm not going to use Gandalf. No problem. I'll see the best one I can find when it gets to yours. Sir says, how about a ship called the USS Sir? I wish I had storylines for it, but I got our writers. Are you talking Reddit or something? Okay. Maybe there's I don't know. I'll try to look up a boat that's USS Sir. Let me put in the notes right now. USS Sir. Oh, oof. Yeah, kielbasa I had for dinner just came up and said hi. All right. Lena says, every time Battleship fires their laser guns, they're actually las guns, by the way, in space, I now imagine they create EDM laser show side effects. Sound. Oh, yeah, because there's a lot of sound in space. Yeah. Speaking of which, I don't know if you guys knew this, but in real life or fantasy, I actually used the names of two of the ships from Helldivers, at least the shorts. If you guys look up the shorts, one is Space Vietnam, and the other one I believe is called Big Guns. And these are only like 1 or 2 minute long videos. And I actually used the names of the ships on there. One was a battleship, one was a carrier. And I still don't know why the hell a carrier that's supposed to be in space needs a runway and 2, a scoop at the end of the runway, especially with a runway that long. I don't know what the hell they were thinking. To me, it's funny. All right. Sir says, that's all I can come up with. Okay. See, Demon says, space battles to the beat of Sandstorm. Yeah, because Sandstorms really have a real beat with a And Sir saying, I enjoy all your stories. They are the best. Hey, I sure as hell hope so, because you know what? I'm making a brand here. Hopefully I'm still here within the next couple of years, still making stories for you guys. And what is this? War Sniper saying, I'm still waiting for the new ships in Helldivers. Yeah. It's like I said, they came out with something great, and I don't think they expected it to take off, so they weren't ready to extend on it. And It's all it is Starship Troopers 2.0. And Starship Troopers was huge back in the day. We just didn't have video games like we do now. Believe me, if they just made a Starship Troopers one that was basically Helldivers, well, it would be basically Helldivers because that's what it's based off of. They would have a blast making it. Especially when you add the skinnies in there. If you don't know the skinnies, that's the third species that's in Starship Troopers, which is where when they made StarCraft, they got the idea of a third species to kind of balance everything out. What the hell? Let's see. Lena said your spaceship probably provides a audio feedback to stimulate combat and engine sounds. That's the only explanation. Well, yeah, but I will say this: when it comes to space combat, movement in space, somebody else did a very good video. I was listening to it. I think I was either going to or coming back from the gym, and every once in a while I'll throw on an HFY story, but not from one of those AI channels because those suck moose nuts. I mean, this just those are just terrible, and they're all the same. And you're going to find, and they're all run by the same person because all of them are all about this guy linking up with this hot ass blue alien. And either A, he's saving her or she takes off or both. But beforehand, he's, giving her the 10, woo-hoo, and all that shit. And suddenly it's like, guys, it's the same shit over and over and over and over again. That being said, somebody did come up with a good Reddit story. I know because I believe Net Narrator was the one who was doing it. And hold on. I gotta fix something real quick. And shit. Okay, sorry about that. It's all messed up here. Something screwed up. I don't think it's not the weather. It's not the rain's not coming down. I can see the storm to the north of me, but I can't see any of the rain. Anyway, I forgot where I was going with this, folks. Sorry, I kind of got distracted, and my brain. Warsaw. I don't get those stories either. It's again the same thing. Don't get me wrong. I've done the whole fall in love with an alien thing, but I've done both guys doing it and the women doing it, and it's just it's just different ways of going about it. Not to mention, let's face it, as soon as I ended up with a cat girl, you knew something was going to happen there, huh? You got this blue chick who turns into, the blue chick from Mass Effect, it's just, kind of, it got the guys going. Then again, it does happen. Unfortunately, I did one where it didn't get a lot of traction, where the alien guy who's dating a human woman is going to see her parents. And it's just like, what's going to happen here? And it's basically the inspiration for that literally was meet the parents. So I didn't quite copy it word for word, but I will say it started to get close. So I had to watch it. Warsaw said, I get stories where they're, sorry, for some reason this something's not it's getting in my way. It's hard for was getting space battles a lot. Oh, where there are space battles a lot. Yeah, unfortunately, that's what a lot of people like. That's the whole premise of the original HFY, was to make us seem like the most baddest motherfuckers. But you know what? There's a lot of missteps, a lot of trouble you got to go through, and a lot of lessons you got to learn, usually in blood, before you get there. You can be the biggest cock on the block, but you got to earn your dues. You're going to end up with a couple of scars before you get there. And that's just the way it is. So, oh shit, it's coming in. Guardian says, have you thought about revisiting the Transformers multiverse with a future story? Oh, actually, yeah, I did. I'm going to have to redo the start of that because honestly, I fucked that up so bad. I was definitely looking into that. It's going to be similar to what's there. I just have to tweak a few things. But I was just playing around with that one. But well, I might be able to salvage from what's there. But yeah, I didn't know if the Transformer, because that whole franchise just shot its own tail off and spiraled in. I didn't know if they were going to work, but yeah, I got a whole thing. I've actually been working on it. It's been screwing around in here for probably 2 years now, and I worked most of the kinks out. Although if you're not really deep in the comics, some of it might go over your head, because if I'm going to do that, because it's an existing franchise, and this is the way it has to be done. If it's an existing franchise, you have to go by the lore. And the original lore is not the show, it's the comics. That has all the lore. That's like working with the Star Wars extended universe. You have to use that. If you don't, it just sucks. And that's what happened to Disney. So anyway, Lena says, the last story I've heard is about some alien thought humans are funny because they use guns that shoot metal. Yeah, I saw that. I didn't actually listen to that one. Where they said, "Oh, they thought it's funny. Oh, these primitive things. They're nothing. They're nothing. Here, I bet you can't shoot through this armor." Okay. Oh crap! It went clean through. But like I said, we're humans. We throw things very well, and if that means brass-covered lead, then yeah. Sir says I've been a little down, and your stories really cheer me up. Well, I'm glad they do. I am really glad they do. I do try to put a little bit of levity in there, so if a strange joke comes out of nowhere, hopefully the reference doesn't go Nyong. Or in my case, oh. See, Demon says just because you're first doesn't mean you're the best. Yeah, that's true. That's very, very true. The thing is, a lot of, and this is not a shot, folks, this is just the reality on the ground, but a lot of Asian cultures for many centuries, if you were the first one, you had to be the best. If your junior showed that they were better than you, they killed the junior. They didn't say, "Oh, hold on, this person knows math really well. Maybe we should have them study it." No, it wasn't. I believe it was in China. Only one of their supposed emperors said, "We need the best, the best, the best. Give me the best of everybody, and we're going to build this shit up, and everything's going to be great." And he did. He raised everything up really well in the short time frame he had. It worked well, and I'm just like, everywhere else, it's like, no wonder you guys were regressed and stuck in the same basically technology era for so long. It's crazy. Guardian says, yeah, the best Transformers that I've seen was from the original TV show. Unfortunately, I've never had the benefit of reading the original comic series. The original comic series is dark. Holy fuck, is it dark? It is so seriously dark. Oh my god! Like, I mean, it's messed up. It's a thinker for sure. It's a seriously big thinker, and you start to wonder who the bad guys actually are. Come to find out, I'm gonna just give you a little bit. The Decepticons were led by Megatron, that wasn't even his original name. It was Megatronus that he adopted from one of the other primes. He actually raised up the slaves. The slaves were the big and bulky Transformers. They were, as soon as they saw what you transformed into, they would send you off to do whatever work that was that they need you for. So if you're a big, strong robot, you're doing heavy lifting work. You're doing a lot of labor. They don't care how smart you are, whatever. And you're sent someplace where you could be, losing your digits or, losing your spark at any freaking moment. And Megatron was like, fuck this shit. And he actually, raised everybody up, pulled them out of that shit. So he's actually the good guy, but he got too obsessed. He overdid it. And that's why he became, the reason he got obsessed with Optimus Prime is a very long story I'm not going to get into. They touched on a lot of it during the original show, but again, there's a lot of dark, seriously dark shit that goes on in those. The Dinobots, especially Slag, and anybody who's over in Europe knows that they can't use that name anymore because it's actually a very nasty term, at least over there. Over here, it just means leftover junk on after you've welded something. But yeah, believe it or not, he turns out to be one person. He's like the Wolverine of that series. He's like a bad motherfucker, but he will sit and think. He's like, oh man, maybe I'm fighting on the wrong side. Oh shit, it's really interesting. And there's so much to it, so much. And I was going to add just a little bit of a tweak that was going to make a whole bunch of other stuff that make a whole lot more sense, because certain parts they never touched. Anyways, that's enough of me ranting. Let's see. War Sniper says humans love to throw rocks, space rocks, especially maybe the idea of yourself. Well, actually, I did do that story, actually. So humans throw very well, and that's actually where it is. It's one of, I wouldn't say earlier works. It's maybe about a year old. Erica says, what about my story suggestions about humans come across a race slightly stronger and smarter than us? I haven't gotten to it yet. I still have it. It's right here. It was either last week or the week prior. And yep, it's right there. Yep. You know, I'm going to still give myself a note, though. Stronger, faster, better. Stronger, faster, better. The $6 million aliens. There we go. All right. Demon says humans are still probably more violent. Yeah, probably. Usually that's what happens. Yeah, it would be interesting. Demon says, I'm sure it would be nice, a change of pace. Yeah. Well, the thing is, I don't do that much. I don't do the whole humans are the shit to start with. Usually it's we get out by the skin of our teeth or just by pulling together. And let's face it, the only time the human race ever actually pulls together is when we're in really, really deep shit. Just really deep. Let's see. Leonid, based on Steins Gate, travel can be extremely frustrating because you are fighting a river that doesn't want to change. Time travel. Well, the thing with time travel is, well, how do I put this? I'm actually talking with somebody right now trying to explain the way time travel actually operates, and he keeps telling me to stop because his brain hurts. He's trying to wrap his brain around it in small bits, which is the way you have to do it. Now, the thing is, if you're basing it on Steins Gate, then yeah, it does. That's like the show 1961 or something like that, 1959, whatever it was, where the guy could actually travel back to that era before Kennedy was assassinated. And he was and fate wanted to stop him every time. It would either crash his car, cause the electricity to fail, give him a really bad case of the shits or something. All that fun stuff. Yeah. But at least with us, and when you don't have something like fate actually trying to fight against you, then you could do a lot with the time travel. Now, the kicker is, and here's how screwy time travel can be. Okay. Give yourself a chance to go back to, say, your 10-year-old self. Now, a lot of people say that if you were going to go back and meet yourself, it would have already happened. Theoretically, yes. However, you must live that timeline before you jump back to meet yourself. So you might be still living this before you jump back to meet yourself. When you meet yourself, your memories are going to change so dramatically while you're talking that it's going to actually be like that movie Chronicle where you're like, what? Things are changing because everything's going to change around you unless you're able to hold on to your original memories and just them while you speak, and you're not inputting the new memories in. Unless you can do that while you're talking to your younger self, you're going to be sitting there trying to figure out where you are, who you are, what the fuck you were originally meant to say. Because you could be halfway through your speech while you're reading it off and the words might change in front of you. You don't know if it's going to change then or change when you get back. It's all relative. That's the key, is it all could be different to each individual person. It could be that I could go back, talk to myself and go, hey, do this, don't do that. Oh, by the way, take my hand and our consciousness merge. And it could be for someone else, the moment they see themselves, they totally freak the fuck out and fall over. It's all relative. Just them being there might change the way their entire life goes. And then a second lifetime slams into your head. Well, if you're causing that many neural connections at the same time, ouch, motherfucker. You'll be lucky if you don't leave with like 6 strokes going off at the same time. You will cause an aneurysm. I mean, there's no question about that. But it's when it comes down to time travel, it's again the one line in Doctor Who, that they got right. Time is a wibbly wobbly goobly mix of bleh. It's all messed up. It's all relative. And again, we perceive time linear because that's how we experience. But when you start to understand time fully, by the way, unless you are ready to freak the fuck out, because that's what I did, don't do that. Okay. But yeah, as long as something is not like another force is trying to stop you, time travel is not as horrible as you think. That being said, I would rather, given the choice between physically going back and only sending my consciousness back, I would choose number 2 any day of the week, any day. Because I would rather send my consciousness back to my younger self, be sitting there in whatever chair or bench or whatever they got me on, and just feel that sudden jerk, even though I don't care how painful it is, and then wake up going, I'm alive. Okay, cool. Now I know what I gotta do. Now I know what I don't want to do. I'm going to get this freaking great. Let's see. Demon says, does anyone want to go to work for me tonight? I don't want to go. Ran night off yesterday, spoiled me. I don't want to go. Yeah, I know the feeling. We all do after that nice weekend. You don't want to go because Mondays suck. Yeah, sorry, man. Bite Me says, Sin, like the movie The Butterfly Effect, sort of. It's not quite that way. Remember, it's different. The way he did it was different. He was actually jumping back. True, he jumped back with his memories, but each time it wasn't creating new synapses in his brain, because if he did that 2 or 3 times, again, when he did that one more time, he would start to like gush from his nose because his younger body would be able to handle it to keep him from dying, but it wouldn't be enough to keep him from not like overloading the system. You're pumping too much juice through the system at once. And it's now, the thing with the butterfly effect is he would go back, do something to himself, like when he jammed his hands through just to cut his hands up, and then go back and he's in the same reality. That's bullshit. Okay. Just doing that would have sent him to a mental institution, and they might have completely changed his freaking life completely. He wouldn't be in that prison. I mean, I don't know what the hell they were thinking. That doesn't work. Let's see. Guardian Sage, temporal mechanics. Yep. A wonderful headache similar to a headache induced by quantum and spatial mechanics. Yeah. Oh God. when you start putting all the factors in, which, believe it or not, me understanding that is what helps me make these stories. You are absolutely right. It is going to hurt your brain when you start to figure it out, especially because if say you go back, you think of one thing you changed. Think of when you're like, I don't know, 12 years old or 15. Take one thing you've changed or one thing you would change. I don't care if that's punching the bully that you don't like or going to that person you do like and actually asking them out, or pick your poison. Especially something big like, oh, I would have stopped this person from going on the vacation where they died in a car accident. Your life will be so much different because everything from that point on, there are a myriad of factors that are going to change. Even a half of a barely any degree, and everything's going to, from that point on, how do I put this? It's like firing a weapon or firing a bullet. When you fire and it goes perfectly straight, you fire again with the same cool barrel, same match ammo, and you think it's going to fly perfectly straight. One gust of wind pushing it just a little bit, even again, 1,000th of a degree, by the time it goes the half mile to the target, it could be off by 20 feet. It is crazy. So that's what I'm talking about. It could change your life so much. And believe it or not, I do believe that with all the factors that are going in right now, if you look up John Teeter, and those of you who watch the Y-Files know about that, when that technology is finally released, and I do believe it's going to be released because the internet dump that's going to happen because of AI, and they can't stop it, by the way. It's impossible to stop. They can delay it as much as possible. They can't stop it. But when that technology is finally released, a lot of people are going to want to go back and fix themselves. However, there's going to be a lot of people that say, hell no, we don't want you to do that because this, that, or the other thing might happen. And I say, kiss the darkest part of my ass. I'm going anyway. And the thing is, me personally, I wouldn't be trying to change the way it is. I wouldn't be sitting there trying to buy an assload of Bitcoin. I'd get like maybe 3 or 4 coins when it first started out, cash them in like 2022 when it was at its highest point. And that's not a whole lot. That's I think 2 coins is, it's like $170,000. I mean, yeah, that's a good chunk of change. It's not truly life-changing, but it's a good chunk of change. But it's the little things that would change that you got to worry about. And a lot of people would be like, well, this person or that person is not going to be born. Says who? Fate might have said that these people will be born no matter what you do, is what it is. Okay. Let's see. Lena says, well, the new Buzz Lightyear movie have relatively loose time travel rules. I haven't seen it. I didn't want to see it. So I'm going to take your word for it. Dina said, now that's a movie I haven't seen in a long time. Yeah, Butterfly Effect. Yeah. The Sir says, I have noticed a lot of Mandela effects, and this is one of the reasons why I believe that time travel equipment is going to be released or forcibly out, because the Mandela effects, when it first happened, it was a one-off, and they've been getting more and more and more frequent. Why would they be becoming more and more and more frequent? Maybe because people are going back and changing shit. Maybe people did go back to 1984 when they were supposed to, because you would have to do that to stop things like the pharmaceutical industry from investing in all that time and money, when in 1989 they started pumping us full of fucking poison. But they would have to go back at least 5 years to stop it so that they would be able to save face and save their money. Once they get to a certain point, they're all in, and you got to get it before that. But in 1984, which we all know that is a very interesting year, a lot of things can be fixed from then on. Now, the Mandela effects, I truly believe that people are going back and they're actually adjusting things. And as they adjust things, our memories are being altered. I do believe that. Reason being is because a lot of the things that he talked about, again, we're going back to John Teeter, are happening. More people are buying local now because they can't afford anything else, for one, and they're finding out most of the food they buy from the big producers. I don't want to say big producers, from the well, basically the pharmaceutical industry runs a bunch of stuff, and a lot of this food is toxic to you. So they're buying local just to survive. Okay, the medical technology where they said the vibrations and the frequencies are going to cure a whole bunch of diseases. No fucking shit. That's been known for years. They're just now allowing people to get to it because, well, you can't stop it because it's the information age. It's out. All the stuff he's talking about that's going to come to fruition in a few years is happening. The only thing he missed was, was there a civil war in 2008? No, but we got pretty fucking close if you remember what happened then. It's crazy. It's absolutely insane. Bite Me thinks those are just glitches in the Matrix. I don't believe that they're actual glitches in the Matrix as you're thinking about it, Bite Me, but I think one or two might be glitches. This many, that's too many. I mean, there's entire compilation videos that are hours long going through each of these. It's absolutely true. But the thing is, what they say, once is a coincidence, or no, once is odd, twice is a coincidence, 3 times is a pattern, or something along those lines. You got to follow the evidence no matter where it leads. Leon has asked me, fast zombies or slow zombies? Well, that's the difference between an actual zombie and an infected person. Infected persons are a lot more dangerous, but the whole thing doesn't last very long because those will actually burn themselves out like 28 days later, and they just keel over and die. Slow zombies just keep going and going like the fucking Energizer zombie. I mean, they just keep going and going and going. So which one do you want? You want something that's scary as hell and you may or may not survive, but it's over within a month, or hell, actually within just a few days because they're going to dehydrate themselves to death? Or do you want something that is easy to fight off, but you're going to be fighting it off until, well, the foreseeable future? Which one would I prefer? Honestly, I could lock myself down in this house for the 3 or 4 days it's going to take for the fast zombies to die off and not really give a shit. They might get my chickens, but they ain't getting me. Sir says, or someone has changed the timeline. That one thing you got to remember is certain people have simply jumped onto the stage and out of nowhere, within a very, very short amount of time, they have made a hell of a name for themselves. So, yeah, it might be certain people who are super rich get a chance to do it first. I don't know yet. Time will tell, no pun intended. SS Demon says, slow zombies. I can handle fast zombies. Nope, I'm out. Oh, slow zombies I can handle. Fast zombies, nope, I'm out. Yeah. Warsnipe saying, must be the Russians. Ernest says, just saw what your t-shirts. Okay, yeah. Okay. Lena says, I mean, it's your life. You could change something that is important to you and make your life, but absolutely. There's, for me, there's about maybe 24 things I would change. Not the least of which is a certain guy in my grade school I would clock across the jaw and then not stop beating him till he stopped moving. That's how much I hate him. And then when his older brother came up, oh, look at me, I'm big and bad. I'd freaking kick his ass too. Not giving a shit about anything. But yeah, that would honestly, at that young, again, spin just like the bullet, it's going to send the trajectory off somewhere else. Demon says, in 2010, I had a chance to buy $100 in Bitcoin. If I held it until it reached its peak, I could have retired now. But who could have known? Exactly. Who could have known? The thing is, a lot of people, that's the first thing they say. If they could go back, they would start doing things financial. There's more important shit than money. Pure and simple, there are more important shit than money. Is it still important to make a decent amount of scratch? Yeah. But if you want to sit there and make just like everybody else, start investing in this one thing, well, a lot of people are going to cash out of that one thing, and then suddenly it's going to drop in value, especially if everybody buys up. If everybody has it, it's not a precious anymore. My precious or any of that shit. It's just doesn't work that way. Lena says, I thought the Mandela effect was just humans having bad memory. Incorrect, because they had to create a whole new phrase for the Mandela effect, and that is mass hallucination. What in the flying fucking shit? Okay. And people, I'll give you one, at least for me. Well, actually, two. One, the Monopoly Man. I know he had a goddamn monocle, motherfucker. I know he did because I remember seeing it. Secondly, the Sinbad movie where he's a genie. Yes, I remember it. I went to watch it. It was horrible. Just as bad as I thought it would be. But guess what? I still saw it. I know it was there. And then they said, oh, no, it never happened. Bullshit. My memory's not that bad. I have a little trouble with names, but that's whatever. Wars Number says, I want to go back to the moment I rejected a lady I liked because I was scared. Okay. Nowadays, by the way, when they say, what's the worst she can say? No, believe me, she can do far worse. All she's got to do is pick up that freaking phone I threw over there and do a little tap, 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 tap. Next thing you know, your social life is fucked. And if you're really bad, guess what? You're in handcuffs, motherfucker. So, yeah. Back in the day, it was a whole lot easier. Let's see. Bite Me says, when you alter the timeline, a quantum distortion ripple is created that radiates outward throughout the ether, altering everything. It might just be a tiny change, or it could be catastrophic. Absolutely. That being said, I have actually been sitting in a room with a whole bunch of people, and all of a sudden everybody was like, whoa, why am I dizzy? Literally the entire room did that, just stopped what they were doing, and everybody's like typing and stuff like that, doing all their stuff. They're on the phone. All of a sudden it was like dead silent, myself included. I'm like, whoa, what the hell was that? And that could have been simply somebody coming back to do what they were going to do. Demon says, hindsight is always 2020. Yeah, but with that sort of tech, it won't exactly be hindsight anymore. Rage says it's time to disappear. See ya. Get in your DeLorean. We'll see you later, Tekkaman. And but the thing with hindsight, yeah, guess what? And you'd like to fix a few things. I know one of the things I'd like to fix also is making sure some fat guy that my brother was friends with doesn't fall on me when I was about 7 years old and fuck up my leg. I didn't know he actually tore my meniscus. I had to live with that for 30 some odd years before they fixed it. Well, if you call what they did fixing. Leonid says, I'm not sure. I know the walking corpses are blind and can locate humans based on sound because the humans create a lot of noise. Yeah, especially when you crack one off. They can locate you by sound or smell too. Although I'm not sure they want to, grab you by there. SS Demon said, Fruit of the Loom or the cornucopian. They've actually found it. Folks have actually found the cornucopia on some of their old stuff. So they've actually found out that was true. That was real. That did happen. Yeah, and the Berenstein Bears along with the Berenstain Bears. I've heard Bernstein and I've heard Berenstein, and I don't know which one it was supposed to be. To this day, I still don't know which one it's supposed to be. But yeah, they found the cornucopia there. And I still remember that when back in the day when they had that. Wars Never says, I know the relationship market is just too damaged to even try to look for a lady when I have 2 ladies online. Okay, hey, I think he's hitting on you, girls. Yeah, and the thing is, if they had a initial run of the Monopoly Man with the monocle and then the rest didn't have it, then they should just say it. If they have different ones where it's spelled different, they should just show it. If I knew where the old Bernstein Bears books were that I had growing up, I'd pull it out and I'd check it. But I have no clue what happened to them after my grandmother passed away. Which, by the way, guys, I will say this. That is one of the biggest things you got to reconsider about going, if you're able to send your consciousness back to the past, or send yourself back and then, basically insert your consciousness, however, is all the folks that you lost, you got to go through that shit again. And for a lot of people, they will just say, nope, it's not worth it. Can't do it. Ain't going to do it. It freaking tore my heart out my asshole and shoved it down my throat. Can't do it, which is understandable. Okay. Nobody wants to, going through that is hard enough once. And I have to stop, hold up, pump the brakes, pull the e-brake, because sir just sent me another $10 super sticker. And let me write you down here, sir. I appreciate you. I very much appreciate you. That's a ×3, actually. I got you here on my notes here, as in you got 3 of them in. And again, I very much appreciate you. Definitely keep the lights on around here. And I'm glad I'm putting a smile on your face today, sir, because you're putting a smile on mine. See? And anyways, thanks again. I appreciate it. Very, very much appreciated. Where was I? Demon says, I used to have those shirts with it, but they shared every logo that were used, and there was no cornucopia on them, but people had it. Something somewhere went wrong. Yeah, I know. And that's the thing. Again, people have found it. So it wasn't a mass hallucination. It was a one-time, I'm guessing, promotional deal, or when they first came out. I don't know. Hold on. Sir, did you just, holy shit. Holy flying ball sacks here. I got hit with both barrels. I'm hit, but in a good way, because sir just sent me another $10 super sticker. No comment, just a super sticker. And, I'm glad, I'm grateful for you, sir. And I'm glad that you're having such a good time, that you're being so generous. I'm not going to sit here and do the whole beg for cash, but I do very much, very, very much appreciate it. And don't worry, you still get your shout out from last week. I just haven't gotten to you yet, sir. Now you got so many. I'm seriously getting backed up, because I still got you. I got Brian, and then I got everybody from this week. So that's got to get going. And oh shit, that's a lot of stories I got to start pumping out. My brain's gonna burn out. Thankfully, I haven't started the fuse where the forehead starts and goes back yet. I've always just had a big forehead. And when you're a kid, it doesn't go over well. Everybody thinks you're going bald when you're young. Not so much. It's just too much. So many thoughts. They came out the front and it pushed the hair away. Anyways, again, thank you again, sir. Very, very much appreciated. Let's see. Leonid here. I remember creepy SpongeBob episode that never happened. The one where they turned him into a snail. I have no idea about that one. Apparently Demon does, because he remembers it. But I'm at a complete loss, because I don't watch Mr. Pineapple Under the Sea. That was after my time. I'd long since stopped watching cartoons. The only tune I watched at that point was any of the Batman animated series, because they were really good. By the way, there's one episode on there called Growing Pains. You may or may not be able to find it online. It cannot be shown anymore because it is considered too too emotionally painful for young kids to watch. And when you see it, you're going to see why. By the way, when I did my DC comic story, part of that actually became part of the story that I was using. And it actually added another character to the Teen Titans. But you'll see what I'm talking about when you actually watch it. Brian says Travelers TV show. I don't remember that one. I don't know if I ever watched it. Sir says, do you need more info on my t-shirt? Sir, all I need is in the email. I need your name, address, and size of shirt. That's it. That's all I need, and I will send it out as soon as possible. Deathbed is here. Uh-oh. And he's got a dangerous question for me. He says, my Mandela effect. Happy cat food had a yellow smiley face cat. But I could swear there was one of their products with a little blue smiley face. Sorry, I got a symbol or something in my way. It's kind of, smiley face. Chops licking cat holding a fishing pole. In one paw, the line was a little fish hanging from the other paw. It kind of sounds familiar, but I can't. I know the Happy Can cat food because I see it all the time, or at least used to. I don't remember the blue one. It doesn't come to mind. Guardian says the last cartoon series that I saw was on TV was Samurai Pizza Cats. Oh, sweet Jesus. That was one of the last ones I saw too. Will somebody please cue that, Boyd? It was always in the first line and everything. That was in the intro. I still remember that. I thought I was like, what the fuck is it talking about? Then come to find out it was satire. But yeah, that was just the last of the runs of anthropomorphic animals, especially those that had some sort of Eastern related skills. Bite Me says the Sinbad movie was called Kazam. Yep. No, I think it was called Shazam. But I don't know. I don't know what was it, Kazam or Shazam? I don't remember. Let's see. War Sniper said, I remember the SpongeBob episode that he made the painting of himself and the painting became alive. You know, that's based off an actual horror thing where I'm trying to remember the name. It's actually the whole thing actually has the name. The dude is like exceptionally pretty. He has a mural made of himself and he wishes to be that attractive forever. And some demon is actually attached to the painting and uses his own sorrows as its fuel, and you know, as its own food. And he can't die unless he looks at this painting again. So he refuses to ever look at the painting. Sometimes he has to look at the painting at least once a day. And it's just disturbing. But just watch League of Extraordinary Gentlemen. They kind of touched on that one, but they actually did an entire movie based on that, and they did a pretty good job. But what gets me every single time is they keep saying how horrible immortality is. I'm like, no, immortality is only bad if you're stupid. Okay, just like John Wayne said, life is hard. It's much harder if you're stupid. And it's true. Once you reach a certain level and you know you're not going, you're not going to age, all you have to do is maintain the body, maintain your finances, and have a hobby. You know, something that's going to keep you from getting bored, because as you roll through the centuries, if technology is not moving very fast, you're going to get bored out of your fucking skull. That's actually the biggest problem with immortality is boredom. That's why you see all these ones where the vampire's like, I'm so bored. I'm just burned out. I want to end myself. I'm like, no, you're stupid. And believe it or not, portrait of Dorian Gray. Yep. Thank you, Bite Me. I appreciate that. As I totally forgot about that. Yeah, I got you, Dorian. Anyways, believe it or not, one of the animes that came out, I don't know if you consider it an isekai, but the dude was brought back into his 20s as a healthy young man, and he's got the like universal whatever stick that he carries around. I guess it's supposed to be a spear, but it can turn into anything and do pretty much anything. He meets a vampire who says, well, the key to immortality and not losing your mind is to erase your memories every couple hundred years. I'm like, yeah, I guess that works. I mean, whatever you got to do, for the whole thing. Even, God, what the hell was that really bad movie where the vampires and the werewolves were fighting each other? And what they did is they leapfrogged through time because they didn't want to actually, or the elders would leapfrog through time to actually negate this effect. I say put yourself into a coma for a century. Big deal. All right. Whoa, shit, this thing's jumping like crazy. You guys are really getting into this. Okay. Leonid, what did I want to say? Oh, right. There is a theory that says that Super Earth in the Helldivers is not our Earth. It's just a decoy. Something strange happened to the original Earth. Oh, you got me. I haven't been that deep into the lore. Demon says Ghostbusters 2 did the evil painting. Yes, they did. And yeah, that dude was just the Vigo. Vigo was his name. Yes. Vigo the Carpathian. Yeah, there you go. Lord Vigo. And then his lackey was a little, I don't know, I guess you could say light in the loafers. Let's see. Lena says there's a theory SpongeBob is an Army veteran and served in the Navy, and one of the last SpongeBob episodes was really spooky. Guys, I don't know anything about SpongeBob. Whatever you put in here about him, I am totally lost. The only thing I know is my nieces used to like to watch it, but I would leave the room. I just couldn't. I just couldn't. Brian says, Travelers TV series, hundreds of years in the future, the last surviving humans discover a way of sending consciousness back through time directly to people in the 21st centuries. Travelers who assume the lives of seemingly random people. Oh, that sucks. They're also secretly working as teams to perform missions in order to save humanity from a terrible future. Armed with only relationships are as much of a challenge as their high-stakes mission. Well, I'm going to let you guys in on a little. Now, I wrote something very similar, and this is back when I was actually writing and I was doing commissioned work. Somebody wanted something very particular, okay? And when you're doing commissioned work like this, a lot of people want, let's say, it's not safe for work material. Well, the whole idea was there's a major disaster or war or something. All you know is there was an event that caused like 3 or 4 secondary events, and the Earth is pretty much fucked. So what they do is they use all the power stations in the entire planet to charge one-time go on a time machine that's going to send everyone's consciousness back to their own bodies. Now, there's 300 people that go. Why did I pick 300? I just picked 300. But what happened is when it sent everybody back, it got the machine, because there's always ghosts in the machines, got confused. Instead of sending the one person back as they were, like, say, I don't know, saying, bite me back to his body, it sent him back, but what it did is it altered the body. And let's just say they weren't exactly themselves anymore. They weren't monsters. They were, well, for lack of a better term, they were hermaphroditic. And once people realized this, a lot of them opted for to self-removal of the situation. Other folks, their parents tried to have surgery done on a toddler, and that would always end in complete and total failure. And you went from 300 by the end of, or by the time the main character is even in their teens, they can only find 69 of them left. And yes, that was meant to be a joke with the number 69. And it sounds a lot like this. Apparently, I'm not the only one who came up with this. Now, I've never watched the Travelers TV show. So your description is very eye-opening. The only difference is, obviously, the one I was doing had a whole lot more not safe for work material in it. And honestly, I don't do that shit anymore because it bores the shit out of me. Not to mention, I spent about a week or two writing that, and the motherfucker didn't pay me. So I just sent it to somebody who posted on their Reddit account. So whatever. Let's see. Lena says, have you seen the isekai about an uncle that became an elf VTuber? Yes, I did. He learned how to use magic in the real world, and the show is really wild. The show was interesting. Now, I didn't see the whole thing. I did see bits and pieces. I saw a little bit of the shorts on YouTube, and that's about all. And it wasn't bad. I mean, it seemed pretty well thought out. The whole thing. Now, obviously, I was reading the subtitles, but he said you can do the transformation, but you can't stay there, or else you start losing yourself. You start taking on the mannerisms and the voice and everything else of that person, and eventually you will become the person you transformed into. That's a nice little additive to make sure he doesn't stay in that form for very long. Although the one thing they did get wrong is the fact that every time he jumped out of his window and then shot off like a freaking bullet into the distance, somebody else is going to see that shit. All right. And using the fact that he never used YouTube, and he doesn't understand how the comment section work and what trolling actually is, or what a Siandre or Yandre is, or stuff like that. And it's I thought it was actually pretty well done, except for a few pieces they missed on. They did a really good job of that. Demon says, I love that anime with the uncle. Was so funny, and his situation was so messed up, but definitely funny. Yeah, definitely messed up. I mean, come on. They called him Orc Face, for crying out loud. Seriously, does that not say suddenly, man, I'm an ugly motherfucker? And how about growing up being called that for your whole life? That would suck. I should know, because the word they used in my house to say, calm down, don't be so mean, they used the word ugly. So I thought I was the most ugly motherfucker in the world. Whatever. I'll fuck your psyche up. So, anywho's, looks like we're just about getting to the bottom here. We got a whole bunch of people helping out here. I mean, I'll do the numbers later. But, we got some extra stuff. We got some the Harder, Stronger, Faster for a story idea. We got some folks putting what they want to be labeled at as their shout outs done. We got the acronym for AVA. And yes, it is an acronym, not an initialism, folks. Why do people get that mixed up so much? CIA is not an acronym. It's an initialism. It's just putting it. Actually, AVA, like this, is an actual acronym. It actually spells a word. That's the way that works, folks. And correct people, for the love of God, correct people when they get that wrong, because seriously, it makes them sound like an idiot. When I was in the service, I used to give people crap like that all the time. Oh, the FBI is an acronym. No, it's not, you stupid bastard. Oh, believe me, I'm being nice in what I was calling them, because I speak infantry. If you don't know what that is, go on YouTube. There's a little 30-second video that says how to speak infantry. Believe me, we can actually say, we can curse 15 times in a 12-word sentence. I do that here, and this video is completely demonetized. So let me get to the last of the chats here. Lena says, right now there's a new isekai show. It's about a guy from the 1930s that gets run over by a truck. Of course, he gets run over by Truck-kun when he just wanted to jump into the river with his girlfriend. Okay, I haven't seen that one yet. So I might look that one up. Again, I don't have a lot of time to sit and watch these guys. I really don't. I'm lucky I get to see them in shorts. Every once in a while, I'll get one and I can just watch it, like that one episode a week. But YouTube has this weird thing, like they'll cut out one episode and you can't watch the entire episode, and they'll hide it as much as they can. And it's just, like Moonlight Fantasy. They blocked the final episode for 3 days. I was like, you bitches. I thought I wouldn't be able to see it. And by the way, Mio is still hot to trot, but she is a scary chick. As hungry as she is, I'd be afraid of her kissing me. She'd bite my jaw off. Ugh. Demon sitting there going, game over, man. Game over. He also said he's watching it, and he says it's pretty good. So, yeah, I'll have to look into that one. And let's see. Demon says, did you get my email with the browser and anime sites I sent you? Yes, I did. I have not had a chance to go through it. Again, I've been gone for days, and I just don't have the time, not to mention we have to put up another fence because the deer are getting into my freaking pumpkins. They just destroyed one. You wouldn't think deer would eat an unripe pumpkin, but they did. We got a whole bunch of we got to set up varmint traps and a whole bunch of other shit going on. It's crazy around here, and I got the wood stove coming in. Once that thing comes in, most of my time is going to be caught up cutting and splitting wood outside, stacking it up and getting it ready, getting it dried out as best I can. Unfortunately, it's not going to be super dry by this year because it's not even stacked yet. So, but it is what it is. Demon says, oh yeah, they have been killing my dad's garden this year too. Yeah, it's, at least for me, I had a choice between getting the fence and a few other things or getting the wood stove, and the wood stove won out. It is what it is, folks. It is what it is. Whoa, shit. Hold on. Stop. Everybody, pull the brakes. Pull the cord, man. Pull the cord. We got Brian Kemp with a $20 super chat coming in. Let me write this down. I kind of messed up my notes here. Let me get this with Brian. I believe, Brian, you also have for last week. Yep. You're still getting your shout out for last week. So now I'm behind schedule a bit, but you're going to get 2 before this week is up. If I can swing it. Got a lot to do on this one, but I do appreciate your $20 super chat. And I thank you for supporting the channel on that. It was greatly appreciated. And excuse me. Unfortunately, all I says is enjoy your stories, and I'm glad you do. I hope I make your day when these short stories come out. I just did one. I did it in old school format. It's how do I put, let me not show you that page, but see, it's all dashes and one lines, and I just I got to fill in the gaps as I go. This is the one that's dropping midnight. The other one I did full on script format that dropped at 6 o'clock. So you guys can let me know later which one you like better. If they both work, I'm better doing it in this format because it's quicker, but it also oddly enough, it makes longer videos. So, and some folks don't like the 40-minute, 50-minute, hour-long videos. It is what it is. So again, thank you very much, Brian. And I'm going to jump up here. Sir says, will you be writing more stories? Yes. Is that real or is that fantasy? Oh, is that one? That one's going to be shelved for a while because I have an idea on what I can do with it, which is going to make you guys go, oh, you sneaky fuck. But I have to work out a few of the details. Not to mention, I've got a lot of things I got to cover. I got to get at least a week's worth of shorts done, maybe a little more. I got the files I got to take care of. There's a whole bunch in there, and I got to try to work in to close up. And one I never did finish was when you're the alien, as in when you the one listening, when you are the alien. And I only did, I think, 3 or 4 chapters on it, and there should be at least 1 or 2 more. So anyways, be prepared for those. Let's see. Leonid says, I recently rewatched High School of the Dead anime. It was pretty interesting. Yeah, Matrix boobies. That's the joke name for it, because let's face it, they don't wiggle that much to dodge bullets. I'm sorry, no. Fun to watch though, especially when a girl with a wooden swords takes on zombies in nothing more than an apron and a thong. Yes, ladies, I know you just rolled your eyes on that. I'm not kidding. It's there. Not only that, she's riding on the roof of a Humvee doing probably 80 miles an hour. Guess what? They don't move that fast. The fastest I ever got my Humvee up to was about 70 or 75 miles an hour. The things are not designed to move that quick. Let's see. Demon says the anime is dead, unfortunately. The main writer died and no one will continue. Oh, that sucks. The thing is, that happens. It's amazing how often that happens. I swear, there's some sort of underground shit over there going on. When you make a really good anime, there's somebody that doesn't want you to continue, and then they you. It's just absolutely insane. I don't know what it is about that. I really don't know. And it makes me worry that if I go over there to do an anime, somebody might, end me when I, finish up. And then I'm going to be like, well, I got like 50 other animes to make here. Why are you killing me off? So, yeah. Also, a lot of these folks who are writing them some of them are fairly aged. But one of the kicker is over there. They call it the Death March for a reason. There's an anime actually called that, the Death March. It's actually an isekai. And it's not bad. I kind of enjoyed it. I thought it was pretty well put together. It got slow at some parts, but it wasn't bad. It's worth one watch. I wouldn't say it's worth buying it, but I would say it's worth a watch. Let's see. Guardian says, I enjoy the 30, 45-minute videos. Some do, some don't. I'm trying to placate everybody, but there's only so much I can do. All right. Well, we have just passed the 2-hour mark, folks. I've been on for a while. I'm all the way down at the bottom of the chats. I do appreciate everybody for the super chats, to include the Sir, Demon, Erica, Guardian, and Brian. Thank you very, very much for your support. Thank you, everybody, for joining us tonight on Syntax Live. But before I go, I need to give the proper safety brief to everybody. That is, if you drive, you don't drink. You drink, you don't drive. Your buddy wants to drink and drive. Beat their fucking ass. And guess what? If the cops give you shit about it, you send them to me. I'll set them straight, because I'm going to answer the phone with my name and rank. That's what I'm going to do to make sure they have that straight. Because the last thing I need is you guys getting hurt over somebody stupid. And it ain't worth it, folks. It is not worth it. You kind of can't travel back in time if you're already donezos. Just remember that one. Also, if your little soldier is going in the bush, make sure he wears his poncho. Keep your powder dry, folks. And no, that's not a euphemism. That's an old phrase as far as keeping all your equipment ready to rock and roll. You never know what's going to happen, folks. I recommend, above all else, you watch some of the videos, you learn some of the prepper stuff, and you have yourself ready, because the winter months are coming. If the winter months go out, you lose power. You need to be able to handle, without power, 1 week. Actually, I want you to start out with this: 3 days. If you can make sure you have everything in your house ready for 3 days without power, that's where you start. If you can do that, you get a double thumbs up. You get a yeah from me, like Terrence Pop says. And you'll be good to go. And you'll be here. And I'll be here next week on Syntex Live. Until then, take care, everybody. This is Syntex ejecting.